If you're stuck at home and can't get out to buy stuff that you need to do the garden, there is plenty of things you have inside the house that's great for gardening. Be it eggs or wine corks, a handful of things that you've managed to liberate from a coffee shop or cafe, toilet roll holders, post-it notes, washing up liquid, or even WD-40 from the shed. All of these items can be used to help you in the garden. First up, eggs. Now the cardboard box is pretty good for ripping up and putting in your compost heap. Secondly, it's the eggshells. Once you finish your soufflés or your fried eggs or your omelettes, you can use the eggshells. You can always put them in the microwave for about 2 minutes, and that just dries the inside here so you can crunch them up really finely. You can put these fine crunches around the outside of your bedding plants because slugs and snails don't like crawling over sharp objects. Or you could drop them into hanging baskets, crunch them up, put them into hanging baskets and window boxes as a good source of calcium and minerals. Or you can put a bit of tissue paper at the bottom of the eggshell, dampen it, put a little bit of cress seed, draw 2 eyes and a smiley face, and it grows its own hair. Next up, wine corks. Now these are really good if you pot up and do a lot of containers on your patio. What sometimes happens is if you've done a container and you put it on the patio and the bottom of the patio makes a seal with the bottom of the pot, the drainage hole can't release the moisture and eventually it becomes waterlogged and the plants die. Now you can buy pot feet to stand the plant on so there's a little gap from the bottom of the pot to the patio, but they cost money. So I use wine corks. I put them underneath the container and sit the container actually on the wine cork so there's that small gap and water just drains away. Other items you may have at home are items you may have liberated from a self-service takeaway or a coffee shop. First of all, I love it when they give you free plant labels. They're called coffee cup stirrers, but they also double up pretty good as plant labels. A little bit of permanent ink on there, slide it into the ground or slide it into your pots. They make perfect free plant labels. In addition to that, of course, you also get these sugar sachets. So if you brought some cut flour home and you haven't gone with the little food sachets that goes in the water to make cut flours last longer, just mix it in with a little bit of warm water till it dissolves and pouring it into the vase to make sure your cut flours can take up some food and live longer. In addition to that, you've also got vinegar sachets. Now vinegar is very good for getting rid of slug trails. Now if you've noticed slug trails on your patio, that does a couple of things. One, obviously it helps the slugs to move, but two, it tells other slugs, ooh, food might be in this direction, or even worse, a mate might be in this direction. So you can use vinegar to wash away, dilute it with a bit of water to wash away the slug trails, and if you get slug slime on your hand, it's very difficult to get off, but vinegar will remove it. You also get these milk cartons from these coffee shops and takeaways. So the milk works pretty well, mixed with a bit of water as a leaf wipe for a lot of your pot plants. Wipe the surface to take the dust off so it can absorb more light, and also the underside too. Another one, can't say this too loud round here, toilet rolls. Not the toilet paper itself, but the rolls at the end make pretty good containers for growing seeds. Simply fill them up with compost. It works pretty well with things like carrots that develop a sort of taproot, so you don't really want to disturb that. So when the seedlings start to grow, you can plant the whole thing in the ground because the cardboard would rot, and of course any of the roots, if they're not carrots, the normal fibrous roots, will eventually grow through it. Now, if you've got problems with flies in your greenhouse, on your caravan, or even on your kitchen window, you can't make your own flypaper. Simply go to your office desk, pick up Post-it. Yellow ones are best because it attracts them. Just wipe over the surface with a little bit of Vaseline, and it comes with its own self-stick, and stick it on the window. Simple as that. Now, if you end up with a breakout of green fly all over your roses or any other plant, you can use washing up liquid. It's a lot better than insecticides. Simply mix some of the washing up liquid with a bit of water inside a hand mister, spray over the top, and the detergent breaks down part of the outer skin of the aphid. It's as simple as that. Finally, WD-40. If you've got heavy clay soil and your spades end up looking like that, if you're digging them and they're slightly moist, it can be a nightmare. They just get heavier and heavier. But Before you start to dig, if you spray over the stainless steel with a bit of WD-40, the oil here, it stops the soil sticking to the blades of your spade and makes the job of gardening so much easier. Well, there you have it. Series of household items and how you can use them as great hacks to help you in the garden.